Hello everybody and welcome back to Conor here. Hope you're doing fantastically well and you are back here with another All Leeds TV preview. Guess what? I've got a new mic, I've got a new camera. We want to make that content even better for you guys, and I thought for me personally I wanted to invest, I wanted to make this stuff good for you, so here we go. The Forest game, overall very disappointed, but that's the standards we set ourselves now as Leeds United fans. You know, we're looking to get promoted from this division. Nottingham Forest, I don't think they came to play football today at all. The ability for Leeds United to break down that Forest rearguard was always going to be tough. I said it in my pre-match, because what they're going to do is they're going to come and defend. They've got astute defenders, experienced defenders, and we don't necessarily have that cutting edge and pace up front for me at this moment in time. Patrick Bamford, listen, thought he played well. I thought he played well. He was unlucky, but once again, do you sort of look at the chances? You know, the clear-cut chance where, you know, he hit the bar, you know, you just get a clean strike through that. That's it. That's hitting any ember of the goal. That is literally roofing the top of the net, excuse the pun. Leeds United were unlucky. I thought we were good throughout the game. I thought the transitions from the defensive third to the midfield third to the attacking third were good. The start of the game, you know, I thought Semedo and I thought the Forest midfield, Ben Watson in particular, weirdly enough, I thought they kept quiet. I thought Forshaw, they kept quiet as well. In a lot of the transitions, were good defensively. You know, they weren't offering anything going up top, but I thought Bamford was good as well. But I thought actually in the midfield we were quite lacklustre. We seemed to get a grip of that in the second half. What I do like from Leeds United is that in the first halves, now, you know, we've seen from Bristol City, we've seen from today's game, that we are actually making moves in that first half, and we're not slack, we're not lacklustre. But I did think there was a little bit of a back burner in this first half. I thought Leeds were a little bit sluggish. I thought Forest actually got into it in the last 5 minutes of the game. Matty Cash having a particular good game at them for right back. I would describe it as a little bit of a reliance on Pablo Hernandez this game. You know, getting everything to him. Pablo didn't have the greatest game. I'll be brutally honest with you. He didn't have the greatest game. He scored the goal. A lot of his passes were a little bit wayward in the first half, in particular, going out for into touch. You know, putting poor balls in, really putting Leeds in a little bit of trouble as well when Forest were breaking. You know, he'd lose the ball a couple of times and Forest would break. But at the end of the day, Leeds' ability on the whole to break them down wasn't there really today. You know, a lot of people are saying Jack Harrison had a really good game. I don't naturally agree with that, and the reason I don't, guys, is because I think what we're doing with Jack Harrison is we're sort of building him up. I think Harrison's a brilliant player. I really do. I'm one of his biggest advocates, to be honest. I'm always very positive about him, but I just want to see him take on his man. He did it once and he beat his man, but the final product wasn't there. I want to see Jack Harrison take it on that man. I want to see him beating him and putting that final product in. That is what I want to see. Jack Harrison getting the ball, passing it in field or passing it back doesn't, for me, constitute in a brilliant performance, and I think that is what a lot of Leeds fans were saying from him. I just want to see that final product there from Harrison. I want to see him shooting. There was no shots from him today. You know, no taking on and shooting across goal or anything like that we saw in the first game, Bristol City. I just want to see him doing that a little bit more. You saw Helder Costa coming on. Yes, granted he was on the other side, but I tell you what, within the first 5 minutes of him being on, could have had 2 penalties. Could have had. I'm not saying they should have been granted, but he could have had 2 penalties. So this is what I'm saying. Direct, the ability to nutmeg a centre back or a right back or a left back and draw the foul. That is exactly what Helder Costa does, and that is why, for me, Helder Costa has got to start on the left in the next game. I don't think Bielsa's going to do that, and that is my worry. It's the fact that are we going to be waiting for Nketiah and Costa to feature from the start for another 5 to 6 weeks, because I just don't feel, you know, I'm not panicking at all, but I just feel that, you know, if teams are going to sit in and defend, there was sort of similarities in the patterns of play from last season for me, and I just want to see Leeds United be able to break teams down and cut through them like a knife through butter. But Forest, credit to them today, they were good in exactly what they did. You know, we knew what they were going to do. They were going to defend. They weren't going to be able to play their game, and I knew that from moment one, really. They weren't able to play their game, and you could see that, and that was credit to Leeds United. We were able to restrict that. We were able to strangle Forest. They couldn't pass the ball, really. You know, they were getting harried and hustled. It's a great point for them. It's probably the point of the season for Nottingham Forest. They'll be buzzing. They'll be going out into Leeds tonight and be absolutely buzzing with that, because that's probably the best point away from home they'll get all season. But for Leeds United, I thought we should have won the game. I'm going to get onto the referee. I thought it was absolutely shocking. You know, their goal shouldn't have stood. Grab and judo throwing, you know, Liam Cooper, which brought Liam Cooper miles out of position. It's not being salty. It's just seeing exactly what happened. You know, he was dire. The penalties, at least 1 out of 4 of them should have been given. The Dallas one where Jack Robinson has literally just volleyed Dallas's left foot into the moon. It's a stonewall penalty. Everyone on Sky saying it. Everyone in the establishment I was at saying it. Unfortunately, wasn't able to get to the game today. I even had a Forest fan next to me saying, I don't know how we've got away with that one. It was a stonewall penalty, an absolute stonewaller, and Forest got away with it. They really did. But Leeds were good, and it was just not the ability not to be able to break them down. And I don't want there to be too heavy reliance on Pablo Hernandez, which is why I think Nketiah and Costa, the people that we've bought, the people that we've bought for a reason, the people that we've bought for cutting edge and just general quality, have to be embedded within this starting lineup. They have to be for me, and that is something that Leeds United need to look at for me. And Forest, they exploited the set pieces, didn't they? They exploited the set pieces. We knew they would. They came. They've got massive players. Rafael Marriot came off the bench, who's a winger. He's about 6'2". Alioski was marking him, and it just wasn't going to go down well at all. I thought they saw and they conquered with regards to that. They were all, and that's something Leeds are going to have to deal with. We've got, with Middlesbrough, Cardiff, multiple teams in this division. How are they going to beat Leeds? They're going to beat Leeds on set pieces. That's what they're going to do. That's what we knew when we sold Jansen. We didn't get a replacement in, so we've got to have a formula to be able to deal with that. That is one thing that I do think, the set pieces. You look at the amount of corners we had and free kicks we had. Leeds didn't win anything. I think we had 8 corners. We didn't win a single header. And there's going to be a lot of teams in this Championship division who are going to see that with Leeds. They're going to see how they can benefit themselves and hinder us. And that's one of the reasons and one of the abilities and the capabilities they're going to be able to do that with, set pieces, targeting Leeds on corners, targeting Leeds on any sort of set piece, free kick or anything like that. And that is something Leeds have to deal with. That's something that the team at the top should have prepared with, and I hope they've prepared for it. I hope they've got something. I hope that was just a blip, a little bit of a scrappy goal, but they came forward. Dawson had a really good chance with a header on a set piece. That is what Leeds have got to deal with. We've got to deal with those set pieces, and there are going to be teams who are going to target that now. Come to Ellen Road, they can't play Leeds football-wise, so what are they going to do? Lump balls into the box. And I feel we did that really well at the start. We were able to isolate, grab them, which was exactly what we did to Jeju last week. We were able to completely isolate them. But when it comes down to the nooks and crannies and it comes down to the set pieces, it's difficult to defend when you've got every single, we had about 6 players in that box there, including Alioski, who had players above them 2 to 3 inches, and physically, how on earth do you deal with that unless you bring bodies in? So I hope we've got some sort of strategy for that. It's a point at the end of the day, guys. We didn't lose. It was a good performance. We just weren't able to break through. We've got the ability to do that with people on the bench. I would suggest starting some of them or bringing them on earlier. That would be my takeaway from today's game. But a 1-1, not a bad result, guys. At the end of the day, we didn't lose. I hope you've liked this video. I hope the quality of the videos increased a little bit, obviously with the investment of a microphone and a brand new camera. Hope you guys have enjoyed. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in a bit.